Welcome friends to another r/entitled parents video. Our first story of the day is by Serene Stealth. Entitled mother does nothing when her kid lets his dog poop all over my lawn, gets a nasty surprise in her mailbox. This happened about a year and a half ago, before the whole COVID thing. I'd moved into a new home a few months ago, and one of the reasons I especially liked this home was because of its nice lot and close parks. Anyways, one day a few months after I moved in, I noticed that there was a piece of dog poop on my front lawn. I looked around and I didn't see anyone walking their dog. Quite a few of my neighbors had dogs, and I figured one of them had forgotten to pick up after their dog. I got a plastic bag and threw the poop in the trash, and I thought nothing of it. Imagine my surprise when 2 days later, there was another dog poop on my lawn. This time, I saw entitled kid down the street walking his dog. I wasn't sure it was him, and his mother seemed kind of nice, so I thought I'd see if it happened again. A few days later, I was about to leave the house when I saw entitled kid with his dog dropping a steaming pile of poop onto my lawn. I took out my phone and recorded a video, and after I got back, I went to his house. I said, "Hello, miss. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting something, but I was just wondering if we could talk about your son and his dog." The entitled mother says, "Of course, what's up?" I say, "I noticed entitled kid walking his dog outside my house, and I saw that his dog, pooped on my lawn, and entitled kid never picked it up. He carries bags when he walks his dog, and I'd appreciate it if you could ask him to pick up after his dog from now on." The entitled mother switching into full entitlement mode. "That's nonsense. My son would never do anything like that. Ask anyone. He's the most well-behaved child in this neighborhood." I say, "I'm sorry, miss. I'm not saying your son is a bad child or anything. I just want him to pick up after his dog. I even have a video of him walking away after his dog pooped on my lawn." She says, "Fine. I will talk to him. Now go away." She slammed the door in my face, and I thought that would be the end of things. Boy, was I wrong. I didn't see entitled kid walking his dog outside my house for a week or so after that, but around 10 days later, I saw another pile of poop on my lawn. I'd had enough now, and I went back to entitled mother's house. "Miss, this is really unacceptable. You said you'd talk to your son, and now there's another pile of poop on my lawn." She says, "That wasn't my son. He's an absolute angel. He said he'd never do it again, and he didn't." Entitled kid came to the door. "Entitled kid, did your dog poop on this man's lawn again?" Entitled kid, obviously lying through his teeth, says, "No, never." The entitled mother says, "That should be enough for you. Now don't come back again." I was having dinner at my new neighbor's house, and the topic of entitled mother came up. My neighbor told me that pretty much everyone hated this lady as she was always borrowing stuff and claiming she never took them, filling other people's trash cans instead of paying for a special pickup. You get the idea. I finally broke when her dog pooped not once, not twice, but 3 times on my lawn in the same day. I got an epic idea. This time I used a plastic bag to pick up the poop. But instead of throwing it in the trash, I kept it out of my backyard. For the next week, I collected poop from the lawn like a scientist, bagging every one. I'm sure if someone saw me, they would have thought I was crazy. After a week, I had around 4 bags of entitled kids' dogs' poop in my backyard. On Friday night, I went over to her mailbox and absolutely caked it in her dog poop. I got the sides, the top, the bottom. I completely covered the thing. The next day, I was treated to the sight of her husband hosing their mailbox off with a look of utter disgust on his face. After that, her kid mysteriously stopped walking his dog in front of my house. I feel bad for the mail person. Imagine doing your usual route, you pull up to the mailbox, and the mailbox is caked in poop. In that event, do you think the mail person would have more than enough reason to skip delivering that person's mail? Let me know in the comments down below. Our next story is by Wildfire 1995, entitled Dad Nearly Gets His Daughter's Arm Torn to Ribbons. For background, this happened last year while I was volunteering at a local zoo. I was heading to the lynx enclosure to feed them when I heard some commotion coming from where the caracals and servals were. For an idea on how the layout of the enclosures were designed, the medium-sized wildcats all each have a fence and a set of bars to separate them from the visitors, with the fences on the outside as a way to signal people to avoid getting into scratching distance of the cats. I went there to check, and there was a man, entitled Dad, alongside a girl that looked to be around 5 to 6, who were both past the fence, and the girl was sticking her arm inside the caracal enclosure. And one of the caracals was hissing and growling at them, while a second one was sleeping on top of a cat tree-like structure that was built inside the enclosure. I say, "Hey, miss, please remove your arm from the cage." The entitled Dad says, "Why? She just wants to pet the kitties." I say, "Sir, these animals are wild and they are clearly not enjoying her presence." "Well, she likes cats, so she'll enjoy them anyways." I say, "Look, these aren't domesticated house cats. They're a wild cat and they're not used to humans. Miss, please step back now or you're going to get hurt." After I raised my voice, the girl snapped her arm back and looked at me crying. The entitled Dad said, "You will not threaten my daughter." I say, "I'm not threatening her. I'm warning you that these cats are not suitable to be pet." A passerby says, "She's right, you idiot. You're endangering your own child by letting her get this close with wild animals." The entitled Dad says, "I'm not endangering her. It's a cat. They like being pet." The passerby says, "It's a caracal. They look like cats, but they're a completely different animal. You wouldn't let your daughter pet a bobcat, would you?" "Of course not, but this isn't a bobcat." The passerby says, "It's like the same freaking thing, you idiot. There's a reason why these animals are behind cages and fences." The entitled Dad says, "Freak off. Daughter's name, you can pet that cat as much as you want. Don't listen to these members of the German political party of the 1940s. At this point, the girl looks way too shaken from the conflict and doesn't want to pet the caracal anymore, thankfully. The man then stormed away with her while threatening to report me to my superiors, which he did. But thankfully, the zoo's obviously siding with me, and then I resumed the feeding schedule while the servals looked at me in your typical cat judgmental way after thanking the man that helped me stand up to the entitled Dad. I've dealt with plenty of entitled people while working at the zoo, but holy freak. Never thought I'd actually meet a Karen that gets pissed at me for not letting them touch a dangerous zoo animal. First off, I personally hate this because not only is it endangering the daughter, but if something goes wrong and one of these animals does act up, it's very likely that that animal will get put down. So it's also endangering the animals. Second off, I don't know where this guy's brain jumped to call them members of the German political party of the 1940s. Obviously, they said the more direct word, but you gotta be careful about what you say. This next story is by Aesthetic K, entitled "Mom Wants to Discipline Me and My Friend After I Distracted Her 9-year-old Son." So this happened 2 years ago. I, 14-year-old female, was going through the aesthetic phase. I started wearing matching outfits that were aesthetically pleasing, but nothing that would be inappropriate. Trust me, I know what inappropriate is. I have strict Asian parents. Anyways, I was spending a sunny weekend with my close friends in the park, just talking and messing around. I was wearing a white skirt. These are skirts that have inbuilt shorts, as skirts make me uncomfortable, and a light yellow no-sleeve shirt. We weren't too loud or anything, so it was a surprise when my friend noticed a parent, entitled Mother, angrily walking towards me while dragging her little boy. This is a rough translation as to what happened. The entitled Mother says, "Excuse me, what in the world are you wearing?" points towards me. Best friend steps in before I can say anything and says, "Excuse me, ma'am, that's none of your business." The entitled Mother glares at best friend. "I'm not talking to you. What are you wearing?" Starts glaring at me. I say, "Ma'am, I'm just wearing a skirt and a shirt. What's the issue? Please stop screaming at us." She goes, "That's so inappropriate. Your skirt is too short. Change it right now." I say, "No." I turn away and start distancing myself from entitled Mother. "Let's go, close friend and best friend." Entitled Mother grabs my shoulder and pulls me back. How dare you try to seduce my innocent son? Change it right now or there will be consequences. I absolutely despise it when people touch me without my permission or me knowing. So right then, I kind of lost it. I push her away. Don't touch me. Best friend says, go away right now or I'm going to call the guards. The entitled mother scoffs. You are some very shameless and ill-behaved girls. You'll be going to heck. Meanwhile, dumb kid was in his own world, unbothered by what was happening. He finally speaks up. Mom, it's hot. I want ice cream right now. The entitled mother ignores dumb kid and starts lecturing us, saying some very indecent things. For a minute, we were just shocked as she said some very indecent things that I'd like to not mention in this post right now. The dumb kid says, Mom, I want ice cream. The entitled mother calms down in an instant. Okay, honey, just give mommy a minute. She needs to discipline some indecent kids. But Mom, entitled mother shoots a glare at him. Silence. Entitled mother points at best friend and I. You, both of you, give me money. Some amount of money. Right now. Close friend says, what the freak? Why? Best friend says, heck no, we're done here. And starts dragging me and close friend away from entitled mother. We all started to walk away faster. Hello, you corrupted my child. I need payment for that. Give me money. Entitled mother starts dragging her kid and starts following us. We run to my house as it was the closest and let ourselves in. Mom sees us panting and sweating, and before she can ask, she hears banging on the door. She gives us a what did you do look and opens the door. Mom says, hi, how can I help you? The entitled mother panting and huffing loudly like a frickin' dog. Your daughters corrupted my child and then they ran away. By that time, all of us also came to the door. The entitled mother pants and points. Yes, these three witches. Mom, surprised by her wording, shuts the door on her face and says through the door loudly, please wait outside while I talk to them. She asked us to explain what happened, and we told her everything in detail while entitled mother bangs on the door. I think I also heard dumb kid crying or throwing a tantrum, I don't know. Mom says, you all go inside and help yourself with some lemonade, and I'll deal with her. She smiles warmly and makes sure we're gone, and then goes out to talk. Mom says, sorry, but please go away. The dumb kid says, Mom, I want ice cream. I want choco ice cream. Entitled mother yanks dumb kid's arm and tells him to shut up. Your daughters, yes, she said all of us, for your information, we aren't even related, are promiscuous. They tried to seduce my son. You need to discipline them right now. Mom says, please calm down, ma'am. My kids didn't do anything wrong. Spank them. I'm the wife of neighborhood's community head. He will kick you out of this house. Mom chuckles to herself. Ma'am, get off my property right now or I'll call the police. I'll get you banned right now and you won't have a house to live in. Smirks. Also, forgot to mention, but entitled kid was basically sobbing while his mom held onto his arm tight. Mom takes out her phone and dials the neighborhood police. We have guards and neighborhood police as this place is very big and is very high maintenance. Hi, yes, I'm from insert house number. Yes, this lady has been harassing me and my family. The entitled mother scoffs. You should be an actor for all your fake acting. Yes, she did think my mom was faking the call. That's a crime. I'll have you go to real jail for faking a call and your daughters will go to jail with you for sexually assaulting my poor baby. This goes for a few minutes as entitled mother boasts being the wife of the head of the neighborhood council and how she will have all of us kicked out. By the way, that's not how it works. Police come in finally. As soon as entitled mother sees the police car coming up, she tries to run away with her sobbing kid and stumbles and falls on the floor with her kid on top of her, crying more. Both of them weren't injured. She fell on grass and the only reason she fell as she stumbled was because dumb kid fell on her. She gets up all red and the two officers have started walking up to our driveway. Officer, this woman pushed me. She pushed me. I think I've broken a bone. No, she didn't. She sprained her ankle because of the fall. The officer says, Ma'am, please do not lie. We saw you stumble on yourself. Looks at Mom. What seems to be the problem? Mom tells her in our story while entitled mother sits on the floor whimpering in pain, and dumb kid just standing there giggling a little at the sight of his mother. Mom says, I have proof in the security footage. They see the footage and also call the head of council, entitled mother's apparent husband, and guess what? He's her ex-husband. They were in the process of getting divorced as he couldn't handle her emotionally abusive behavior. He also was trying to win the case and have custody of his child, but entitled mother had accused him of abusing dumb kid physically. We pressed charges for harassment. Entitled mother had to pay a fine. Dad wanted a restraining order just in case, but Mom said it would be fine. Her ex-hubby won the custody last year with the help of our security footage and other things, and took a restraining order for himself and his kid. The kid was at first very stubborn and mean, but he has started changing. It's definitely not a surprise to me that removing the kid from that environment leads to them acting better and improving. It sounds like the dad does care, and it sounds like the dad probably is a good father, so I think it's safe to say that I kind of hope that they can just keep on going with the custody there, and hopefully things just keep improving for the kid. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today, so if you have a favorite story of the day, let me know which story and why in the comments down below. But besides that, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, and if you haven't, subscribe and turn notifications on so you'll never miss an upcoming video. No matter what you do, whether it's just viewing the video, liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, I appreciate the heck out of it. Every little thing that you do helps the channel grow that much more, and I can't thank you enough for it. So, until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be right here next time on the Storytime channel.